to replace it, but I'm not currently there at that point yet.
Mm.
But once I get to that point where that's next on my list, then I'll actually get a new laptop. I'll get a
Yeah.
nice new laptop as well, proper, a proper one, like not some fucking like filler bullshit.
Mm.
Like, that's why I'm kind of waiting because I want to fork out on something nice, proper snazzy.
Mm.
Hey,
Your mom's a hoe.
What a lovely thing to say.
My mum always brought me up to tell the truth, so you know.
Well, she did something right.
Too far.
Sorry.
You took it too far.
What? I'm severely unwell.
You took it unwell. No, you took it too far there. I'm not honest. Why would you
Uh,
do that?
I'm very, very ill.
Oh, we know that.
I think you should be more understanding.
I see. It does have the session privacy set to friends only.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, obviously, T makes the room, so Matty Pip was just mistaken, thought that it was. I don't know.
What a bitch.
Wee! Calm down. Let it all out. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Right, we can give some background info today, like championship, all of that jazz.
Ooh.
Do you want to read the standings and I'll do the cameras?
No, you do the standings.
Oh, it's hard for me to read and select the drivers at the same time.
Just do it.
It's so hard. No, it's so hard because I have to look down at the driver, look at the number of points, and then quickly scroll to their name on the list. It's actually quite hard.
I'm too tired for this bullshit and I've still got to go out and work till 6.
Mate, I'm fucking knackered.
You can go to your bed at any time you want.
I woke up at 8 o'clock this morning.
That sounds like a personal problem.
I haven't slept at all today. I usually have a nap in the afternoon, but I work till 4, so I didn't get to.
Oh.
I know. It's so hard.
Fucking get on with it. You're a man. Well, you're supposed to be.
What, are you saying that women couldn't do it? Can't say that nowadays, mate.
And you've like that, not me.
No, you're saying that I'm a man, then that should give me an advantage.
No, just the fact that men are more used to bullshit stuff, which you should be used to because you talk so much bullshit.
Ian, just say the truth. It's fine. No one's going to be upset.
You're a massive cunt and nobody likes you.
There we go. That's more like it. That's what we want to hear. Some emotion. Let all your emotions out, big guy. Come on.
Piss off.
Time to let those emotions run.
I'll run my foot up your ass.
That's what we want. That's what leads to productivity, my friend. Letting those emotions out. Channeling them into something. Channel them into something. Use them to your advantage.
No.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do to be successful. Use that hate. Use that anger. Bosh. So for those of you just joining us, this is currently a therapist coaching session between myself and Emo Guy, and you've just walked in on us. So if you wouldn't mind awfully please leaving, I would be awfully appreciative. Thank you very much indeed.
Shut up.
I'm the one who goes too far, apparently.
I didn't do it twice in a row.
Oh no, that's the worst thumbnail ever. Look at the... God. Oh, it's horrid. That is vile. That's evil, that is.
What?
Look at the thumbnail in the stream link. I'll pick the
Oh,
worst
God.
moment ever. It looks just so grim. Hello,
Yeah.
Freddie. Welcome along, mate. He says, how are we doing? Oh, doing alright. Doing alright. How's yourself? Ian, how are you doing?
Currently trying to fight off my brain cells, to stop hurting me from hurting you. But otherwise, not too bad, thank you.
Yeah, well, obviously, by the time you got here, your anger probably would have dissipated somewhat, so I think
No.
there's probably not really much point in trying to hurt me, because the time it would take you to travel here, I think you might maybe have calmed down by then.
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Yeah. So we've got Andy Fong in the comments, says Team Williams supporting Davidoff and Freddie tonight. Races so far this season, riding high in the championship despite missing the second round of the season as well. So it's been a very, very strong start to this particular campaign for season 12 for Davidoff. We are going to read through the championship standings coming into round 6 here tonight in Miami. So here we've got Clen leading the way on 93 points, and Clen is 31 points clear of Davidoff, who sits in second place in the standings. Pardon me, on 62. And we're going to Justify in third place on 57 points. So he's just in the pits in a moment, so still yet to do a lap in this session. We've got Matty Pitt in fourth in the standings on 45 points. Matty Pitt got off the mark in China on Tuesday night, finally for this season, after a tricky start to his campaign, his title defence here this season, having taken the season 11 championship last season. Fifth in the standings is Rexy Boy, only 2 points behind Matty Pitt on 43 points. And then we got in sixth place Street Boy on 32 points, having a solid season so far. Freddie in seventh on 22 points. I'm sure he'll be finding his way up the order a little bit more over the course of this season. It's by his standards been a bit of a slow start, but I'm sure we'll be expecting big things from him over the course of this one. We got Drauga in eighth, also on 22 points as well. So Drauga tied with Freddie in terms of points, but Drauga's not here tonight by the looks of it, so we'll be missing out on some points for sure. We've got Mark in 10th in the standings on 18 points. Is Mark here tonight? I can't see him on the list. Oh, he is here. Yeah, he is there. Just on his way out of the pits now. Then we got in 11th place is T on 15 points. And T is definitely here, I know, because he's the host of the session. Then we've got C. Faulkner in 12th place on 10 points. C. Faulkner obviously races with us on Monday as well in the Red Arrow League. Then in 13th place we've got Truckee on 7 points. Truckee's also not here tonight either. Oliver 14th on 6 points. And Oliver's just on an outlap at the moment. Actually on the medium tyres as well. Very interesting that. Getting some practice running in before he does his flying laps here. White Shadow is 15th in the standings on 2 points for the time being. Basin in 16th on 2 points as well. Basin obviously wasn't here on Tuesday night for the China race. And his replacement didn't exactly cover himself in glory. Cherry thingamajig. Ended up crashing into somebody. So that was not the ideal situation there for the Kicksauber team, but Basin's here to hopefully do a bit better here tonight. Then we've got G.Cop, who's 17th in the standings on Neil Pastel, and obviously not here tonight, but was here on Tuesday night for the China race. Then we've got Wild Pluto in 18th in the standings, also repping Neil Poir for the time being. And that's currently your 18 driver championship standings so far this season. But in the meantime, we better get to the action here, because currently we got the lap times coming in thick and fast right now. Rucker's gone top of the leaderboard here on a 1:27.1. We've got Matty Pitt in second, a tenth and a half off of him on 1:27.293. Glenn is currently 4 tenths off of the pace, the championship leader here, by quite some way as well. And we really need to see Davidoff getting some strong points over Glenn in his next few races if he's to be able to close that gap at any meaningful rate. We've also got Justify, who's not a million miles off for the championship lead as well, although the gap is currently, as things stand, or as things are going at the moment, Glenn is extending that gap continuously, so they got work to do if they're going to bring themselves into this fight here this season. Bason's currently 4th in this qualifying session on a 1:27.6, half a second off of the pace, and C. Faulkner is the 5th driver to have done a lap here, and he's currently on a 1:28.0. We've got Wild Pluto as well, 1:29.2, just over a second off of the fastest time being set by Rock. We've got Freddie mentioning in the comments here, the first 5 races are my worst, hoping the season gets better. Yeah, we're used to seeing you up there, to be honest, Freddie, so obviously I know everyone goes through their bad patches, but I'm fully expecting that over the course of the season we'll see you climbing those championship standings considerably. White Shadow's gone into 7th place with a 1:29.5 and becomes the 7th driver to do a lap here in this session. But yeah, plenty of comments coming in here tonight. We've got some talk in terms of betting. We got James saying Davidoff had red wine coming out of his nose during round 2, wasn't fit to drive. I'm not surprised, to be honest. These work dues tend to be a little bit messy. I mean, I wouldn't know, but we got Andy Fong says Davidoff to finish on pole, super boost, evens, he reckons, max £10. Okay. James says, give me 6-4 and I'll take it. Who knows? I don't think it's going to go. I don't think it's going to get that. You're going to get that good odds, to be honest, James. I think that's pushing it a little bit. We've got Freddie obviously mentioning how the early races aren't great for him. Andy Fong says, just ask Denise. She said, no, bloody Denise, says James. Well, it's unfortunate, but nonetheless, we move on. We've got Justify now in provisional pole position by half a tenth of a second ahead of Ruck. So lovely lap there from Justify, setting the pace here in this early stage of the qualifying here in Miami for the 6th round of the Purple Sector F1 League. Yeah, T's crashed out. What's happened there? Did you see him? Let's see if we can... Where's the McLaren on the map?
No, it's not McLaren, it's a Mercedes.
Sorry, my bad. G.Cot says, gutted I couldn't race tonight. It's actually not showing on my YouTube feed. It's showing on PlayStation, but not on YouTube. G.Cot made a comment there, but it's not showing on YouTube, so that's a bit strange. I don't know, is it showing up on your end, Ian, or...?
Nope.
No. So that's very strange there. Definitely saw a comment coming in on PlayStation. But nonetheless, Justifies coming into the pits here after his first flying run here. 0.04 of a second his gap over Rock, as Rock is on an outlap here, ready to have another go at pole position here. But obviously a long way to go in this session. These guys have still got plenty of runs to go. Most of them probably be doing 2 more runs in this session. Davidoff, look at that. My goodness, over half a second clear of Justify. And that is an absolutely outstanding lap there from Davidoff. He's laid down a marker there, hasn't he? He's gone and said, come on then, boys. Have a crack.
Yeah, it can be quite difficult to lay down a decent lap around here because a lot of the straights, they do require a really good exit out of the corner that takes you onto it. So he's done really well to be able to get that kind of lap time out of it.
Certainly has, and he's got obviously work to do in the championship standings, but that's the way to be putting pressure on Glenn, and obviously with Justify in second, that'll also help these guys close in on the championship leader and make it more of a fight here this season, which is what we all want to see. We want to see a spectacle, and we all want to see it being a close contest. But yeah, Davidoff has absolutely blown everybody out of the water there with that one. Rock isn't far away from Justify, obviously 400s between those two, so that could be a close one, but yeah, they've really got to pull their finger out if they want to beat this Williams driver here tonight. And his teammate not too far away in P5 could be helping him as well, because having his teammate so close will help with the strategy for sure. But yeah, for the time being, Davidoff definitely an ominous warning there to the other drivers as he pits at the end of his first run. But yeah, over halfway through the session now, so we're going to see drivers doing their flying laps here. Rock's coming into the pits at the end of this particular run. We've got Matty Pitt out there on a lap at the moment. As G.Cot says, gutted I couldn't race tonight. Just to help, bro, it's G.C. Oh, okay. Right, cool, okay. G dot C dot. I was saying G dot cop. It's G dot C dot. Cool. Right. Thank you, G dot C dot, and I'll try and remember that, but you know what will happen if I'm reading out the order of the drivers quickly on the first lap of the race, I'll probably still say G dot cop.
Yeah.
But I'm just pre-warning you now, but I will try my best. Because I read the name and remotely resemble what's actually written down. It will just be the words that come to my mind as I read the name, and that's it.
It's whatever just looks good to you at that point.
Yeah, whatever makes sense in my brain, however my brain interprets it. I giggle every time because I hear cock, says G.C. Well, I wasn't intending for it to sound so crude, but nonetheless, yeah. I'm glad that you found it funny. Oh, Ian, this puts us on the spot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Top
I'm
five
gonna
as well,
say
not even top
Davidoff is
three.
definitely in there.
Yeah, top five makes it. It also gives us a lot more room to make a fool of ourselves as well.
Well, for me personally, I'm gonna say Davidoff P1, Freddie I'm gonna give P2, Justified P3, and Glenn P4, and then Matty
Right,
Pitt P5.
Davidoff P1. What was it? Who P2? Sorry, say again.
Freddie.
P2, Freddie P2. Who P3? Sorry, I'm just gonna write it down.
Glenn.
Glenn P3. Yeah. P4.
Rock P4.
Rock P4.
And Matty for P5.
Okay. Right. Yeah, Davidoff P1. Matty P2, I reckon. I don't know why, I have a funny feeling. Freddie P3. Glenn P4, I reckon. We've basically... This is so bad. I need to put somebody... I need to throw in an outlier from somewhere. Oh, God, this is terrible, isn't it? This is terrible. We're just going for the same top five in a different order. Justify P4. And Rock P5. That's terrible. That's terrible. At least we haven't put anyone in the same order. All right, here's the thing, right? If we get the exact position, if we guess the winner correctly, I don't know, actually no. Let's go with exact position is 5 points. Within one position is 4 points. Within no, okay. Here's what we do. Yeah, within one position is 4 points. Within two positions is 3 points. Within oh god, this is getting complicated. Oh god, my brain. Oh god, my brain. Right, so guessing the right position is 5 points. 4 points for being within 4 positions. No, within one position. 3 points for being within 2 positions. 2 points for being within 3 positions. And 1 point for being within 4 positions. Because we've gone for the same top 5. That's fair, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool. That's easy. That's also easy to remember as well.
Yeah, and it looks like Lee's got a tenner on Davidoff as well.
Do you know what we need to do? We need to set up a bookies, a Purple Sector bookies. Matty, can we add a channel? Can we add a channel, Purple Sector bookies? I might have to obtain a license.
Yeah.
We could do it with pretend money. We could do like we should do a Purple Sector fantasy league. That'd be so fun. Actually, that'd be a really good idea. That'd be a sick idea. Imagine that, a Purple Sector fantasy league. This is yeah, I'm just coming out with absolute rubbish at the moment. But yeah. Anyway, we got Justify on an outlap at the moment, and We've got Ruck currently on a flying lap, or an in lap actually by the looks of it, because we're currently a bit down on the fastest time being set in this session. Freddie says, P2, I'm flattered, I'm going to try now, he says. Freddie, were you not trying before, or what? What's going on there? I mean, what, were you taking it easy? Were you having a nice little Sunday drive? You know, what's going on there, mate? But I'll have to see what Freddie can do now. Come on, Sheep. Andy O'Connor says, try and no mess this one up. Who's Sheep? Do we know? Oh, it's Davidoff, isn't it? Davidoff, yeah, I remember. Yeah. It'll be worth 30p, says G.C.
That's about, that's about over, that's about overconfident there. I'll probably go, 29 pence.
Yeah, it's been overbought a little bit. We should prepare for the slope.
And it looks like Rocket is out of the session as well.
Yeah, I don't know if that was retirement. Could have been at this stage because maybe the run was done. But Justify here coming through Sector 1, third place in this session at the moment, half a second off. Basin has got into second place here, and look at that. Wow, that's a fantastic effort there from Basin. Currently right in the mix there at the front. Justify's 3/10 down on his personal best through the first sector. That's going to be a massive ball ache for him here, because he's got a heck of a lot of work to do here in these next two sectors. Already half a second down off the fastest time of the session as it stands anyway. So Justify is going to have to absolutely nail the middle and final sectors here if he wants any chance of getting pole here tonight, as we're coming through in towards this chicane, this tricky chicane, where it's very easy to forget that it's there. And Justify now coming through in towards the final part of the lap here, down this long back straight. Still 3.5 tenths down, lost another half a tenth through that sector. It's looking like Justify maybe has lost his chance of taking pole position here as we come into the final sector. Is anybody else out there on laps here? You've got Street Boy currently half a second up on his personal best. Oh, that was on the previous lap. That's not this lap. There's a 6 tenths down on this one. Matty Pitt coming to the middle sector. We've got to watch Matty Pitt. Freddie's and Clen are both on out laps here. So Freddie and Clen will be putting laps in the next minute and a half or so. But we've got Matty Pitt here coming through the chicane on, I don't know if this is his final run, might well be if he hasn't got enough fuel to get another one in after this. But here comes Matty Pitt, 7/10 up. Matty Pitt through the middle sector. He's only 7/10 off a pole. So if Matty Pitt keeps this momentum through this final sector, we could be seeing the reigning champion putting it on top spot here in Miami. Here he comes then through
It's all well and good putting it on pole, but it's whether or not he can hold it going into the first turn at the start of the race. It doesn't matter.
Here he comes, Matty Pitt over the line. He can't quite do it there. Less than a tenth of a second off for the fastest time, but he falls short just by the skin of his teeth there. Freddie's on a flying lap here as he's coming through the middle sector. Let's keep an eye on him and see how he's doing. He was very, very close to his personal best through the first sector, but wasn't quite there. He's got to nail this slower section of the track here, the stadium part. He's been through already, and here he goes through the chicane under the highway. And now Freddie in towards the final sector here. Keep an eye on the top right-hand corner. He's 2/10 up on his personal best through the middle sector here. Purple middle sector. That's massive there from Freddie. That is very important there for him as he's coming now into this final sector of the lap. He just needs to nail this final sector here. I have a feeling this might have been where he made a mistake before, because based on what we're seeing from his sector time so far. But Freddie coming through in towards the final part of the lap here. What is it going to be for Freddie? He gets P3. Nice lap there from Freddie. Nabs Basin there right at the end. We've got one more driver, I think, on a lap here. No, Clen's bailed out. Clen has crashed on his final run. So the championship leader down in P10. And this is a massive opportunity for Davidoff to really make some gains here in the points. Also Justify as well. But Matty Pitt and Freddie could be starting a bit of a late beginning to their championship here for sure. But wow. Davidoff there taking pole, and it was looking at one point like Davidoff was miles ahead, but at the end of the session there, Matty Pitt showing that despite the fact that the races are usually his forte, he's gone and delivered in qualifying, and that could be an ominous sign for everybody else here, because Matty Pitt doesn't usually show his hand in the qualifying. Tonight he's well and truly demonstrated that he's got plenty of pace around here.
Yeah, and if that's the track that you want to score points on, then you have to do as best as you really can, because the middle sector that his AI just came through there, it can really compromise your run down the back straight.
Certainly can. As we see, Freddie is on his way into the pits. He's done. I think that's it. Yep, that's us done for this session here. So that's Davidoff there taking pole position by 800ths of a second from Matty Pitt. Freddie and Basin both within half a second of the pole time. And actually, you see all the way from third down to seventh place, they're less than a tenth of a second separating those 5 drivers. So it's very, very close in the middle of the pack. Here all the way, in fact, all the way from third down to 11th place is half a second. So that's 9 drivers separated by half a second there in the middle of the pack. It's going to be a very, very tight battle indeed. Davidoff and Matty Pitt, if this is anything to go by, could be disappearing off into the distance here. But everybody else, it's game on.
Yeah, it's balls to the wall, go for it, and throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
I mean, we got Glenn down in P10 as well here, and that is huge because he's running away with the championship as things stand. But obviously, it's early doors, and this could be something just to knock him back a little bit here tonight, and maybe think it's not going to be a walkover. There's going to be plenty of twists and turns in this tale.
Yeah, well, it's sometimes it's not always the best to start at the front. Sometimes it is kind of good to go for a middle pack start. So it is just try to avoid as much of the chaos at the front as you can.
For sure. Well, here we are then. We're getting ready to go racing for tonight's action here at the Purple Sector Formula 1 League, round 6 of 24 for season 12. We've given you the championship standings. We've given you the qualifying. Now all that's left is the main event of the evening. It is, of course, the Miami Grand Prix. At the relatively new Miami Autodrome, which obviously hosted its first F1 race in 2022, and it's a track which I actually learned how to drive for the first time the other day, and it was actually the first season 1 of our career mode. Didn't go to plan, did it, Ian? But in our second season of our career mode, I actually managed to win the other night. I was well chuffed.
Yeah, that's only because the AI decided to be an idiot and try to take me out, and you pushed me
Yeah,
against
yeah,
the wall.
yeah. Yeah.
You pushed me against the wall. If it wasn't for that, you would have lost. Like you have the very race of the season.
Oh no, my TV's flickering on and off. This is.
Oh no.
Oh, what a shame. Anyway, right. Here we are then. Everybody, we are lining up on the grid. And we're getting ready to go here for round 6. The drivers now locking in. I think a lot of them are closing the stream down as they're now focusing on what's ahead of them rather than watching us and listening to us. I think a lot of people now are going to be turning that volume off and fully putting all of their eggs into this Grand Prix here tonight as the lights coming on the head of the grid. We're about to go racing here for the Miami Grand Prix at Purple Sector. And it's lights out and away we go, and it looks like a solid start from Davidoff, but Matty Pitt slightly better there off of the line. But this, as you were into turn 1, we got Justify ahead of Ruck, and Ruck's lost a few places here. Ruck has had a horror show, and it's down to 14th place there. So Ruck getting caught out a little bit. Cleanse up a place into 9th place as Davidoff and Matty Pitt are now side by side here. Matty Pitt trying to make a move for the lead of the race. As he did he get a tap there from the kick salver of Basin? I'm not sure, but Freddie is up into 3rd place. So Freddie has had a very fast start there, and Basin ahead of Justify, who's running in P5, has lost a place off for the line. Street Boy there in P6, followed by Oliver, who's running in 7th place. Solid start from him as well. C. Faulkner in 8th, clean up position into 9th place with Mark in 10th, followed by Rexy Boy, Wild Pluto, T, and White Shadow Hull's got ahead of Ruck as well, up into 14th place. But this is the first lap of the race here, so these guys are going to be looking for track position as soon as possible, but it would be very sensible for these drivers to just take it easy at the moment, as we see a collision there, as I say that, between C. Faulkner and Oliver. C. Faulkner makes his way through, but did Oliver... I think there was definitely some bodywork coming off the car of C. Faulkner there, and Oliver now coming under pressure here from Mark as well as they come through the chicane.
Like Oliver has lost both his end plates.
Yeah, he did. So it was Oliver who got the damage from going into the back of C. Faulkner by the looks of it, although I thought he was ahead of him, so I'm not quite sure how that played out. It seemed like a strange trajectory for that damage, but nonetheless, Oliver there running down in 9th place on this opening lap of the race, so it's not gone to plan at all for him. But as they come through into the final corner here on lap 1, and we see, oh my goodness me, look at that. T has come from absolutely a different postcode there and goes deep into the corner, loses out to Wild Pluto, tries to make the move there on Rexy Boy. Oliver into the pits at the end of the first lap, and that is absolutely no surprise there with the shenanigans that we saw going through the that corner at the end of the long straight.
See, this is interesting because T is now missing his front right end plate as well, and he's not. His car must not, be handled any different because he's not coming into the pits at all.
No, he seems to have got away relatively scot-free at the moment, but let's just see what happens here, if there's going to be any later repercussions to be made after that one. But nonetheless, Matty Pitt hunting down the race leader Davidoff. You have DRS down this part of the track as well, which will help him get a little bit closer. Looks like Davidoff's got good straight line speed. It's keeping him in a decent position here as Matty looks to try and up the ante as soon as he possibly can here. Through the stadium section we go. Now he'll definitely be looking to make this move down the back straight, Ian, because we know how long a straight that is. If he can keep himself within about 2 or 3 tenths, we know how OP the DRS is down this part of the track. Surely he's going to be going for this move down here.
Yeah, it's all right now. It's just purely about the exit of that corner. But it looks like Matty Pitt might be close enough to be able to make the move on Davidoff going into the final corner, and it looks like he's going to be, and he has his nose ahead as they're going side by side into the final corner. It looks like Matty Pitt has managed to hold that position and is now in P1.
Yeah, Davidoff was looking for a cutback there on the exit, but Matty Pitt managed to get his car turning nicely. He is, yeah, lovely switchback there from Davidoff to make the move into turn 1. As I say, he tried to get the cutback immediately, didn't quite work out. They're still side by side though, and Matty Pitt with an absolutely ballsy move around the outside there. How has he managed to hold on to that one? Fantastic driving there from Matty Pitt, and in the end, that move that began at the last corner has been completed here as they come through towards the end of the first sector. And Andy O'Connor going, yes, my boy, your celebrations are a bit premature, Andy, because Davidoff's now running in second place. Matty Pitt with a beautiful move there. Which was pretty much set up.
Davidoff is going to have the chance to come back here with the DRS.
He is. Andy, you might be able to get a happy in a second because he's coming back at him. Here we go, and he's going to make this move well before the corner, so that's going to be a routine overtake there for him.
Here comes Freddy as well.
Yeah, his teammate, the Williams teammates here are ganging up on Matty Pitt, and Matty Pitt's going to feel a little bit victimised right now because these guys are going to be working together here to put him under the utmost pressure. And definitely Matty Pitt's got his work cut out if he wants to try and win this race, because these guys are going to outfox him no matter what he does with strategy and with their racecraft.
Yeah, at this point I feel like Matty Pitt might be putting a formal complaint in about inappropriate workplace touching at this point, because he definitely is out there getting violated by these two Williams cars. As he has the only Mercedes in the top 10 right now, because his teammate is currently down at P13, having pitted for a new front wing and a fresh set of hard tyres.
Yeah, there's a few drivers who have been in early on, so that's going to be fascinating to see how that works out later on in the race. Obviously with these early pit stops, I think it might be a little bit too early to get the hards to the end, so we're surely going to have to see those guys two stopping towards the end of the race, because this track is no joke on the tyres, and 25 laps around any track on this game is pretty much a no-go, unless you're very good at tyre saving. Or it's the absolute limit. It is the limit, I would say.
Maybe Monza on the hard tyres would probably be a reasonable expectations.
There's two tracks you can do 30 laps on the hard tyres on. That's Red Bull Ring and Monza. No, Red Bull Ring and Monaco, because Monaco is such a short track and it's slow corners. As we see, Justify's got ahead of Basin here, up into 4th place as they're coming through the middle sector. Didn't see that one really coming at all, but we're currently watching this lead battle. Saying that though, these two could be in the lead battle very shortly here, because it looks like these three at the front, Davidoff, Matty Pitt and Freddie, are kind of just holding each other up a little bit now. So definitely we could be seeing a bit of a train here in a second. Basin now trying to come back up Justify as they come now down towards the final corner. Looks to the outside, and Justify's going to hold that inside line. Tries to go on the outside of his Basin. That's not going to happen. Taps the wall a little bit on the exit of the corner as Rexy Boy has moved ahead of Street Boy now. His teammate up into 8th place. The two Ferraris swapping places there. Very reminiscent of the season opener in the real life F1 on Sunday. The two Ferraris running in not really the positions that I'm sure they'd be hoping for. But we're watching this battle out the front, and we're going to stick with this. Hey, we can't be abusing that one.
I'm just saying it's a Ferrari. It's a pile of crap because of what they do to it.
Sorry, I should be following my own advice there. Did you hear me there, or was that?
No, you cut out.
No, I was saying it's a shitbox.
Yeah, well, it's a Ferrari. You know, what else to expect? They think that's because it's a prestigious title that they're going to automatically be able to, get great performance out of it. But having the badge of a great brand doesn't automatically, grant you all the power in the world.
In the meantime, C. Faulkner there made the move on Basin at the end of the straight, but he's Bason's got a 3-second time penalty here for track limits, so that's going to hurt him at the end of the race. But C. Faulkner there quietly making his way through the pack here up into P5. We're now going to get the tyres up because this is going to be pretty relevant to how this thing is panning out. So obviously everybody started on the mediums. We had a couple of drivers change onto the hards early on, but C. Faulkner has just quietly built his way up the pack here. Started in what I think it was P8, P9, was it, Ian? And
I believe so. Hold on, I'm about to tell you.
Ian's just going to chase that one up.
The C. Faulkner's up one position.
Really? I'm
start.
surprised. I think he dropped back a bit at the start because
The
he seems
biggest
to have...
gains in terms of positions is 4 positions gained by Clen, Rexy Boy, Wild Pluto, and White Shadow Hall. The biggest loser in terms of loss of positions is RNG Ruck with a loss of 7 total positions.
No surprise that Ruck's the one who's lost the most positions because he's running in 14th place. We know that he's obviously pitted early. Could be that the tyres are going to be off at the end as Ruck makes the move down the inside of Oliver there into turn 1 up into 13th place. But I think we expected Clen to be making his way back through because we know Clen's got a lot more pace than what he was able to show. Obviously, he crashed out on his final lap of the session in qualifying, but I suppose in an ideal world, you don't want to put yourself in that position where it always on one run. You know, you need to be putting in them banker laps beforehand, and Clen obviously didn't execute the qualifying as well as I'm sure he would have liked, but then again, his racecraft this season so far has been almost faultless, so we'll have to see. There's a long way to go, but at the moment running in P6, about a second off of C4, being kept honest here by Basin. Basin's still right there, although Basin has been overtaken by a few drivers in this opening stint of the race. Obviously justified C. Faulkner and now Clen as well, as we see a bit of a lock up there, but Basin doing an okay job here in the opening laps of this race. Still relatively new to the Purple Sector League. First season, is a rookie here out on track for season 12. As Wild Pluto's out of the race, we got a safety car because Wild Pluto's car clearly in a irretrievable position there, so we're going to see if we can get a glimpse of the car on board White Shadow. It must have been into that wall. Yeah, it must have been straight on. Yeah, except that I used the runoff and spun round and carried on and finished second. But yeah.
See, right now this is going to put T into a possible good position. You have to come back and possibly gain some points, because he'll be able to come into the. Well, actually, he may not even want to come into the pits because he's still on 2 lap old tyres. So that might put him in a good position to be able to make some good moves here.
Definitely could, definitely, and also. The guys who, but the problem is those who put their hard tyres on aren't going to gain much. I was saying that though, the drivers at the front haven't come around on the pits yet. Did the safety car come out after the leaders had come by the pits already? Must have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, will they have time to come in? Have they already picked it up? They haven't, so they probably could come in.
It's sitting at the far right hander after the first corner.
Yeah, everybody from Davidoff down to Street Boy could probably come in and still get that free pit stop. But yeah, I mean, does anybody roll the dice, go for track position and hope that there's another safety car? Surely there's got to be somebody out there who's thinking along those lines. Let's see what these guys do. Davidoff leading them.
Davidoff is coming in, Matty Pitt's coming in, Freddy's coming in, and it looks like the only one staying out is Justify's coming in as well. It looks like majority of the front runners are all coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all coming in.
Interesting there. So yeah, obviously they'll all come out ahead of Ruck because Ruck's too far behind to capitalise. Obviously running under safety car rules at the moment means that you're not going to be able to flat out tear around the track and make up that time, as White Shadow Hole's got done for speeding under the safety car.
Oh.
That's not the place to make up the time, mate.
Well, look, since the leader is now caught the back of the safety car, T is now free to put the hammer down and try and catch up to the back of the pack before the safety car disappears back into its hole.
Yep, it's throwing a bit of a lifeline for some of the drivers out here tonight. Interestingly, one driver who hasn't pitted under the safety car here is Mark. Mark stayed out on the medium tyres, which he put on 5 laps ago, so he can't go to the end on these, and he wasn't close enough to inherit track position. So I'm not 100% sure what's the motive behind that one, I must admit. But nonetheless, I hope it's working for Mark.
Maybe he's hoping that there'll be a safety car later on in the race, maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe he's got a bet that he can do 24 laps on the medium tyres. I don't know. We'll have to see. But nonetheless, we're just joining us here at the Purple Sector F1 League. We're currently under safety car, as you might be able to have ascertained. But we should be getting going pretty shortly. We're going to do one more lap after this current lap. So we'll be going at the end of lap 9. We'll have 20 laps to the flag once we get underway once again here. But as you can see here, lots of the drivers doing some warming up of the tyres. And Kimi Räikkönen here, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Kimi in his prime. I'm telling you now, Matty Pitt is Kimi Räikkönen in disguise. Look at this. Everybody else weaving around, getting their tyres as warm as they can. Matty Pitt sat there, cool as a cucumber. Mate, this guy, he knows a thing or two about warming up tyres. He must. His tyres are warm just from having to carry the weight of those enormous balls.
Can I just want to take a quick second to send him our most heartfelt condolences to the family of Eddie Jordan that we sadly lost today. I believe it was today or yesterday, I can't remember, but died at I believe he was he was about 75, 76 that he passed away.
Yeah, I was very surprised because I'd seen him in podcasts with David Coulthard till very recently, actually. I know they had the Formula for Success podcast on YouTube, and I won't lie, I mean, it was clear that he'd lost a lot of weight, but I genuinely thought he was going to go on for a long time. I really did. I was very surprised that it took him as early as it did, but Eddie Jordan, absolute legend of a pundit on F1, grew up watching him and his analysis with Coulthard and obviously Jake Humphrey on the BBC. And yeah, will absolutely be missed. And yeah, I was very surprised because the last time obviously I saw him on the Formula Success podcast, he seemed very full of life and very much still motivated, especially by the F1 and talking about this coming season as well. So yeah, that's it's very, very sad news.
It's the same with me, my favourite voice actor. I don't know if you probably heard of him, Lance Reddick. He was the exact same. 1 minute he was completely fine, doing everything he normally did, living his life as he would. The next minute, he's no longer with us.
That's the thing with these aggressive forms of cancer, and some of them don't affect you until you're weeks away from the end. It really is. It's almost worse in a way because you're seeing somebody there and you know that they're not going to be there. But yeah, it's horrible. It is horrible. But obviously Eddie Jordan has built many memories throughout the seasons and through the years, and even amongst younger F1 fans, more recently. So, and also obviously a legendary owner of the Jordan team as well. But we send out all of our condolences to everybody affected by the passing of Eddie Jordan earlier today. But nonetheless, we've got Steve Faulkner looking down the inside of Justify into turn 1, but can't quite make that move at the moment. Justify clinging on to that third place. Steve Faulkner though on the move here and looking to try and make things happen on this restart. Davidoff still leading ahead of Matty Pitt, but a lot of drivers have now been given a new lease of life here after that safety car period, maybe helping a few of them, saying that they Justify over a second behind Davidoff and Matty Pitt at this early stage of the restart. So these two at the front definitely showing their class over the rest at the moment. Pardon me. As we see, Basin has also just dropped off of Glenn a little bit, as Rexy Boy looking racy here as they come to the end of the back straight. We got Rexy Boy moving ahead of Ruck as they come through the stadium section as well. So Rexy Boy now up into 8th place. That's a job done there for him. And we currently watch the drivers here coming down this long straight. Obviously DRS will be open on the next lap, but not this time around. So if drivers want to make the moves, they're gonna have to be pretty damn close to make it happen. As we see Freddie here is well within 0.3 of a second of C. Faulkner at the moment, having a little look, trying to put C. Faulkner off, but C. Faulkner not taking the bait as C. Faulkner tapped her, or rather, it wasn't a tap, was it, Ian? That looked like a shove there on the back of Justify.
Yeah, definitely did seem like he kind of outbroke himself a little bit there. But it looks like he's managed to get away with very little to no damage at all in that front wing, so he's a very, very lucky boy right there. Hello.
Shoot, sorry mate, I had to cough and muted my mic and forgot I muted it.
God's sake. No, you
sorry.
didn't. Well, a heads up would have been nice.
My apologies.
I'm going to cough up a lung, give me 2 seconds and I'll be back.
Well, I didn't think I'd forget to unmute myself. Anyway, Rexy Boy here is looking down to the outside here of Basin as he comes to the end of the back straight, and Rexy Boy has got that move done there around the outside up into 7th place as we see him go a little bit deep, and Basin just thought about trying to come back at him there, but that was never going to happen. And now Ruck is also...
That has a 3-second penalty.
Oh no, that's going to ruin the battle for the lead. Come on guys,
no.
Justify, Faulkner, Freddie, give us a fight. Clan as well. None of you are exempt. As we see, we've got Basin making the move down the inside of Rexy Boy here to the end of the back straight with DRS.
Freddie nearly goes into the back of C. Faulkner there again.
Ian's watching the battle up the front. In the meantime, we see Basin going deep there at the end of the straight and loses out to Rexy Boy, and now Ruck's looking to the outside of him as well here, but they're all got DRS on each other, and Basin with nowhere to go, as now we got Ruck trying to go on the outside. Yeah, that did end in tears there, didn't it? Unfortunately for Rexy Boy coming off. Rexy Boy and Basin coming off horrendously in that, but Ruck up into 7th place is laughing his way past that incident. Oliver up into 8th place as well. He's going to be rubbing his hands together after that. Now he can try and challenge Ruck for 7th place. But what a disaster for Rexy Boy and Basin. Basin especially, his race has gone from quite promising in the early stages to an absolute disaster, as Street Boys moved ahead of Mark up into 9th place as well. And we've got Rexy Boy now moving ahead of Mark, so Mark down 2 places there. But in the meantime, Glenn and Freddie are battling for 5th place here down the end of the back straight. And obviously, Ian, you mentioned Freddie on the previous lap there whilst we were watching that battle between Basin and Rexy Boy. We've also got Oliver trying to make the move on Ruck as well.
No, it was the other way around.
Oliver trying to make the move on Ruck, yeah, that's what I said.
Ruck was taking Oliver. But back to what I was saying about...
Oh, what Pluto!
Oliver's
session. He was already out of the race. Sorry, Oliver it was.
Oliver took a massive smash into the wall going out into the back straight there, and we've also lost Basin from the race.
Oh no. Did Basin maybe... conspiracy theories, I'm wondering if maybe he stacked it. I don't know. Anyway. Anyway, never mind. We got so Davidoff leading on the safety car under VSC here. Matty Pitt and Justify the top 3 at the moment, with C. Faulkner running in P4 ahead of Freddie. Glenn up into 6th place in the early stages, now finding a little bit of resistance in the way of the drivers ahead now. Earlier on it wasn't so much the case. We've got Ruck running ahead of Oliver.
Freddie wants to secure a podium. All he has to do is try and stick to the back of C. Faulkner and try and close the gap to Justify.
Yeah, it's definitely not beyond the realms of possibility here. As we've got Andy saying, it says in the comments, watching you sheep is like watching Rangers. Heart can't take it. To be fair, he's doing everything he can to make it as comfortable. Oh my goodness me, Matty Pitt runs into the back of Davidoff there. Did you see that? Oh. There was definitely a bit of carbon fibre that went flying off one of the cars there. I don't know. Oh yeah, Matty Pitt's got no top wing end plate.
Yeah, he's got no right side end plate on that front wing, and that is going to seriously hinder his ability to try and keep up with Davidoff here.
Oh my god, that's going to be awful for Matty Pitt. Is he going to pit now? He could come in and put the mediums on now. He'd have to go a long way, but he could feasibly put a set of medium tyres on, or would he play it safe? Will he play it safe and put some hards on?
Oh,
Or is he going to brave it out and try and stay out? Because he's going to be losing about half a second a lap here. Matty Pitt is staying out for the time being, and he's got DRS on Davidoff as well. This is going to be potentially problematic here for Matty Pitt as he looks to the inside, too far back going into turn one. Justify and C. Faulkner right there with Freddie and Glenn as well. 6 cars in a battle for the lead right now on lap 14 of 29 here for the Miami Grand Prix. But Davidoff still leading the way for the time being. Matty Pitt so far doesn't appear to be suffering any major issues, but that's definitely going to be affecting him. No matter how he looks at the moment, his performance will be somewhat impacted by that damage to the front wing end plate. There'll be some sort of understeer going on through some of these faster corners for sure.
yeah, definitely. Not so much through the slower corners, because obviously at that point, not aerodynamics of the car isn't as vital as it would be, say, going around the fast left-hander to go onto onto the straight that they've just came off of. But right now, as you say, it looks like he's not really all that much hindered by the the missing the end plate of his front wing. So he's still definitely keeping the gap to Davidoff, sorry, but at the same time he has got that QR car starting to line up behind him, and they're looking very, very hungry to try and take that fight to him.
Definitely so. Freddie, in the meantime, managed to get ahead of C. Faulkner going down the back straight on the previous lap there. So Freddie now into 4th place. Matty Pitt, though, sticking to the back of Davidoff. Maybe that damage stopping him from being able to overtake, but it's certainly the DRS is allowing him to keep up. So for the time being, Matty Pitt might be okay. He just needs to get himself to that next pit stop, if indeed he gets to it, because it may be that these guys are going to go to the end here. In fact, it probably will be the case. Matty Pitt could do with a safety car to ease his nerves a little bit here, because he's going to have to be hot on this here. His focus is going to have to be razor sharp. He can't let that focus drop for even a split second here, because that car is going to be a nightmare to drive at the moment.
Yeah, and we just want to keep an eye on Freddie. Justify as Freddie is only 2 tenths behind Freddie as they come into the DRS zone. It looks like Freddie's got a massive amount of overspeed.
Oh, Justify there. Definite move in the braking zone there. That was questionable indeed. Very, very late, yeah, and definitely at least 2 moves there, possibly more. So definitely, I think the stewards are going to be looking at that one. Justify was pushing the boundaries there, potentially. I think a warning definitely is needed there at least.
Yeah, definitely. There's no excuse for her moving onto the braking zone. Multiple drivers over the years have been penalised, have been given in trouble for it, and at this point, in 2025, no one should have to be reminded that no one should be moving under the braking zone.
Oh, that was a heck of a move there from Freddie, and Justify sees it coming and allows him to complete that move there. Wow. I'll tell you what there, that was ballsy from Freddie, and I think that was a bit of frustration there, which had a part to play in that one, due to that incident that we saw a few moments beforehand. But Freddie now into the podium places, where he rightfully deserves to be at this point, because he's been pretty patient here on this restart, has made up 2 places, got ahead of C. Faulkner, and now Justify as well. Now he can try and be that rear gunner there for his teammate Davidoff, who's leading the race, because Matty Pitt with that penalty, it will allow them to get a 1-2 as things stand, and that will be massive for the Williams team. So Freddie now needs to keep himself within 3 seconds of this battle. Davidoff, if he's smart about this, will be backing up Matty Pitt into Freddie and making sure Matty Pitt is within that 3 seconds, so that they can get this 1-2. It's now in their hands for sure. Although Justify is going to have something to say about that as they're coming down the back straight. He now looks to the outside here as they come towards the braking zone, and he's going to get around the outside here. He's probably going to be able to complete this move, as we see Glenn also getting involved as well. Can't make it happen. Freddie clings on to ahead of Glenn, but Justify there up into 3rd place.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity and he knew exactly how far back he had to be to be able to make the move into that corner effectively and make it stick. But at the same time, Freddie's not that far, hasn't dropped that far back, and he is in the DRS, and Justify is too far back to be able to grab the DRS off of Matty Pitt right now. So it looks like Freddie no, he's not too far back.
He'll get a second bite.
Be looking to try to make a move into the first corner here though.
Yeah, surely Freddie's going to have a good chance here. Within 0.3 of a second, you need to be pretty close down here, because it's a very short DRS zone, and he's not quite close enough there, is Freddie. But if he can keep himself close to the first sector, he'll have another chance going down the back straight. And yeah, this is going backwards and forwards right now. But this could be hurting Freddie, because He needs to be within that 3 seconds of Matty Pitt in order to get second place here tonight. And at the moment, it's not falling for him with Justify currently being the thorn in the side for our Williams driver here tonight, as we now come out of this slow corner here, which leads on to this very long flat out section, which leads all the way down to that heavy braking zone before the stadium section. And Freddie now in the slipstream with the DRS is getting closer and closer and closer and closer. I think we might be a little bit late. Yeah, a little bit late. And he has to back out for the time being, but he's definitely keeping Justify on his toes right now. Surely now his focus is turning to the back straight, to the one that goes down towards the final corner.
Oh, Mike Pitt has a further 3-second penalty.
No way.
He cut the chicane.
I mean, I can't say anything because I know all too well how much of a, you know what, that chicane is.
C-U-N-T.
Justify now making over on Matty Pitt. Matty Pitt's lost time through the middle sector here, and Justify now up into second place. Freddie will look to try and follow him through as quickly as he can, as there's contact there between Matty Pitt and Freddie. Freddie has been tapping cars left, right and centre here this evening. Somehow that front wing is still clinging on, but he's made that move over to third place as Freddie into the podium places. I tell you what, Freddie's front wing must be made of some stern stuff here, because it has survived some incredible scares.
Yeah, I think we might need to get the scrutineers to have a look over the the car of Freddie after the race, because I'm feeling there might be some foul play here.
Yeah, we're just going to find that the screws are made of kryptonite or something.
No, he's probably using iron or something like that, a very lightweight version of iron.
Well, it's absolutely incredible how that thing is staying on, but Matty Pitt on the list is down to fourth place, and Freddie is now focusing his attention on the driver who he's been dueling for most of this race, and that is obviously the McLaren of Justify. Thing right now is that his teammate Davidoff is now disappearing off into the distance, and that's, I guess, probably what they wanted here, because he's the one chasing after Glenn in the championship. Justify is as well, to be fair, but Davidoff is the closest contender right now, as Ruck has picked up yet another penalty, and this night is continuing to go from worse to even worse for him. But
well,
Freddie
I can tell you the current standing of penalties if
oh,
you wish.
again! Oh my god! That poor front wing. That poor front wing. It's been through the the ringer tonight.
I'll take you through a quick run through the penalties. Right now, Justify is on 3 seconds of 10 penalties. Matty Pitt is on 6 seconds. Glenn is on 3. Street Boy 3. RNG Rock 16. And Oliver is on 3 seconds. So right now, as it stands, Rock is holding the, if there was such a thing, a single point for most penalties in the race.
Who put Rock in their top 5? What idiot would do that? What idiot would put Rock in their top... Oh wait, we both did.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I was so tempted to go for Faulkner. Why didn't I put Faulkner in my top 5? Grr. I was so close to doing it as well. I looked at his name. I looked at his name, I was like, I was tempted to, and then I went with the same top 5 as you in a different order. For God's sake.
That's why you don't follow me.
I'm so frustrated right now. I could have been onto an absolute corker there.
But absolutely massively, Davidoff has managed to run off with the lead, and he's now got a 3.8 second gap back to Justify, who's currently trying to defend back from Freddie.
Here we go, Freddie now in the slipstream. He's got to look to the inside, but it's going to be squeezed, and in the end, Justify comes back to the racing line. Freddie going for that move, which he's become pretty famous for over the course of this race. This is going to be the race we're going to look back on Miami as the one where Freddie made about 20 overtakes through that one corner. But here he goes now, looking down towards turn 1. He's going to make this move, stick into turn 1 as well as Freddie. So he's now into second place and now following his teammate home. Oh no! Oh, he didn't need to do that. Oh no, Justify there, tapping Freddie in the rear. We're going to have to get a perspective of that on board, because it's very hard to tell from trackside. It looked to me like Justify maybe just could have maybe just, I don't know, eased off a bit there, but
held off a bit longer.
yeah, I don't know if Freddie moved across him there, but we'll have to look at the onboard, because that, to me, it's very hard to tell from trackside. But Justify will have to save his replay. Justify, if you're listening, if anybody's talking to Justify in a party chat, let him know. Make sure he saves that footage. But nonetheless, what a
Well, I
shame
was
there.
actually on board with Freddie at that point, and it did seem like that Freddie just took his normal racing line because he was ahead, so he was entitled to that racing line.
But the question is, was Justify
again,
far
Matty
enough
Pitt
alongside
has
him?
got another penalty.
Oh,
So
God.
does Freddie.
Yeah, Freddie joins the party here, so it's Faulkner now on course for second place. I mean, to be fair, if I had put him in my top 5, it would have been fifth, so I wouldn't have gained a lot of points, but it would have been something. I would
Well,
have...
Matty Pitt now has a grand total of 9 seconds of penalties.
God's sake.
It's all because of that chicane, man. Everybody hates it.
So, looking like it's going to be battle for third here, I think, between Matty Pitt, Glenn, Freddie and Justify. Yeah, Faulkner's got second wrapped around his pinky. Davidoff has got the win, signed and sealed, and he's on the way to the post box to post it.
Because we've got Mango in the chat saying, speed up next, stop driving slow. He's in a Ferrari. Cut him some slack.
Yeah, Rex, sort it out. It's a shitbox.
It's a Ferrari.
It's amazing. You have all these facilities and you make a piece of crap like this.
I actually watched that film last night as well.
We keep doing this. It's going to be a theme, by the way, everybody. You're going to just have to put up with this, because at least once every stream we're going to be making a reference to that scene. Because it's golden, and it's so relevant to Ferrari at the moment in the real world. It's
Well, we can't
it's
really
so
say
hard.
that right now because we've only done with one race.
Oh yeah, I know, but after what? Yeah, but that's all we got to go on. And this
That and Ferrari's history have just been absolute shit.
yeah, in the race. Oh, as we see Freddie there going into the wall, what is going on here? Oh no!
Oh.
And Justify getting caught up in that and going into the barriers, and is now getting back onto the circuit there. But tension spilt over there between those two. Freddie down to P5. I don't know. Justify's retired.
That could be explained by possibly the cars getting stuck together, because me and you know all too well how easy it is for those two cars to get stuck together. And finally Freddie's front line has been broken.
Well, at least we know that it is breakable. At least we know that there's no kryptonite on that.
Well,
James calling Freddie a dirty dog in the YouTube comments.
let's keep it civil, boys, let's keep it civil.
Right.
Bunch of bastards.
Yeah. Yeah, let's calm it down, folks. Right, I'm gonna stir this pot, motherfuckers. He's like that guy who pretends to be the peacemaker. Like when a teacher comes, he acts like he's the peacemaker, but like he was instigating the whole thing.
That is me.
As here's C. Faulkner and Matty Pitt, they're putting a lap on somebody, I believe. Who was that?
It is White Shadow Hull.
White Shadow Hole. Shout out here.
LP.
Shout out White Shadow Hole. This is your moment. This is a valuable airtime for the Alpine team.
He just needs 2 more cars to DNF and it'll be in the points.
Mate, that's right, actually, yeah. Right, if anybody 2 people just want to take one for the team here, you know.
I'm gonna pick Rexy Boy and Street Boy.
Also, if he gets the fastest lap, he'll get 2 points.
Oh, well. Which is more than the Alpines have actually scored this season.
Yeah. Getting a 3-second penalty for track limits, so
God damn it.
yeah, no,
That's
we
how I went
can't.
for the win.
Yeah, that's... God. White Shadow, we respect you. We respect you for keeping going, because obviously I respect anybody who keeps racing to the checkered flag. I really do. You got to rate
DJ
it.
film.
He's going. He's just. Why is he? Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, safety car, come on.
What's happening? What's
He's caused a
happening?
safety car, and that is just completely annihilated David Dawson. It's 6-second gap. Crash gate, I'm telling you it's crash gate.
What tyres have the Williams and Alpine team got? As Davidoff sits to the pits, he's cracked, hasn't he? He's cracked. He's gone. No, I'm not taking any risks here.
Depending on how many soft tyres he's used in qualifying, he may be able to come in here and put on the soft tyre.
No,
He
really.
has.
What's Freddie doing? Soft tyres, surely.
Yep.
Yeah. Do they get to serve their penalties? They do, don't they?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Well, only so many of them though, I think.
Is it? Oh yeah, you can only
Not too
serve. You can
sure.
only serve 10-second penalties, can't you? Wait, he was stuck there for a while there.
I
Was
think
right.
he did serve his penalty. I'll be able to tell you in a second.
Right. So Glenn, Matty, Street Boy, and Reddy have all still got the penalties.
Penalty.
Yeah, they've all still got theirs. Glenn, Matty,
Yeah.
Street Boy, Freddy, Ruck, Oliver, and White Shadow. Well, White Shadow. I'm not encouraging what you did,
Still have every
but
chance to win this, pal.
I'm not encouraging what you just did. However, you have given us quite an exciting last few laps here.
Ban him!
But please don't do it again.
Ban him!
Please don't do it again.
Ban him!
Please, please, please. Let's just have a bit of order here. Let's not be jumping to any conclusions. Let's not be calling for people's heads. Okay.
Well, hold on. Right. Hear me out
Stop
on
this blame culture. This blame culture needs to stop.
Right, hold on. Let's run that. He's driving a French car, and recently the French have asked for the Statue of Liberty back. And we're in the USA. So right now I think he's just trying to cause an international uproar.
Did they really ask for the
Don't do
Statue of
that, White
Liberty
Shadow,
back?
we don't need another war.
That must have been a joke when they asked for the Statue of Liberty back. That must have been a joke.
No, it's serious.
Can't be real. That can't be serious. How?
It's the French, mate, what do you expect?
It's like a friggin' national symbol of the USA.
We've got Scotland's playing Greece tonight.
The only way they're going to get that thing removed is if they destroy it. And what good is that going to do?
How the hell do you think they got it there in the first place?
Oh yeah, they're just going to be able to just drag it away and not face any resistance. Mate, that thing would get destroyed if they tried to take it away.
Well, then there's a loss on both sides, then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, Scotland's playing Greece tonight. And we're currently 1-0 up in the second half.
How long left?
I'll have to tell you. We're currently sitting at 61 minutes.
Ah,
McTominay scored it.
is that a World Cup qualifier then?
Nations League.
Oh, okay, so it's nothing important
Well, we're still doing pretty well right now.
then. No, I know.
They've had 13 shots and we've had 7. We've had 2 shots on target, they've had 0.
It's not good enough, is it, Greece? It's not good enough.
Well,
Next.
they must have greased up the ball.
More effort needed, please. Thank you.
See, the main difference between the English squad and the Scottish squad is we know we're shit. Well, we admit we're shit, unlike you guys.
But do you, though?
Yeah, we do.
I mean, I think that if you were actually asked if you thought that Scotland was objectively a good football team, then I think you'd have plenty to say to the contrary.
Oh, don't get me wrong, we've been doing really well recently, so we have.
So, do you think they'll qualify for the World Cup?
Possible. If we continue on the form that we've got, don't, fucking drop the ball whenever we score a goal.
Who would win in a football match between England and Scotland?
At this point, I'd probably say it's pretty much equal.
Ah, Right. So anyway, here we are coming out of the final corner. We're getting underway again. Brilliant. Here we go. Right. See Faulkner here pretty close to the back of Davidoff as they come into turn one. So these two, the only two without penalties in the top six. Everybody else has been very, 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 very naughty indeed. As T's dropping down the order down to 11th place. Seems to have got well out of it there going into turn one. Not quite sure why that is, but T down in 11th place here. But Davidoff already almost a second ahead of C. Faulkner, has now broken that second barrier here. Street Boy's up into 5th place. He's got ahead of Freddie. When Freddie's dropped behind Rexy Boy as well. So the two Ferraris up into 5th and 6th places here. The Ferraris are flying at the end of this race.
Yeah, get the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Never mind. We'll see what happens at the end. Davidoff has the lead. Ahead of C. Faulkner, Clen and Matty Peter batting for 3rd place, but Clen without any penalties. Clen is going to minimise.
The Ferraris now took each other out there.
Typical Ferraris, as we see. And by the way, I want a Ferrari to do well this season because Hamilton's there. I really do. So for me, like, it's painful to see the situation in real life. But anyway,
it wasn't much different at Mercedes.
Well, yeah, it was. Yes, probably better because at least they know what.
Freddie making a move on Street Boy into the final corner here.
At least they have a good car around the normal tracks, we think. Anyway.
We'll see.
Yeah, Freddie back up into 6th.
It'll take us a wee bit longer to see exactly how they do it around a purpose-built track, because obviously logistical problems has caused delays for a lot of Formula 1 teams this week.
Yeah, we've heard about that as we just see Street Boy there going a bit deep and holding on ahead of Mark by the skin of his teeth there. Ruck now looking to challenge here on the back of Mark. I have a feeling that Ruck isn't going to gain too many places here at the end of this race. Not because he can't overtake these drivers, but because of the fact that he has got a 16-second penalty. Which might potentially cause him a bit of a problem at the end. But nonetheless, he is very close on the back of Mark here as they're now coming down towards this long straight. Mark's got the DRS here on Street Boy though, and might have a good chance here of making a move around the outside into the stadium section as we look to the braking zone now in towards the bridge, and he's going to go around the outside. Here is Mark. He's going to keep himself there, and he judges the braking quite well there, but Street Boy managing to keep it around the outside into the stadium section and holds on to 7th place there by a very tight margin indeed. As Street Boy got a 3-second time penalty there whilst doing that. So Street Boy is now on 6 seconds. Having said that, these two behind him are on 10 and 16 respectively. So at this point, Street Boy should be able to hold on for P7, all being well in these last couple of laps. And yeah, pretty much the battles are kind of just withering out now. Davidoff's got a comfortable lead over C. Faulkner, 2 seconds between those. C. Faulkner comfortable to Clen and Matty Pitt. Even if he was behind them, he'd probably still finish ahead of them with the penalties. So Clen battling with Matty Pitt for position. Freddie could do with getting ahead of Rexy Boy. He might be able to pull the gap in the last lap and a half if he can get ahead down this long straight, which is coming up soon. We'll have to jump on board with Freddie here and see if he can make this move. He needs to make this move down the back straight, I think, if he's to have any chance of getting 5th place here in this race.
Yeah, it looks like Rexy Boy did get a little bit of shape there coming out of that corner.
Here we go. Freddie's going to make this move, I'm pretty certain, but he needs to pull out the gap after he's made this move as well. And that's going to be the question here. We're going to now see what Freddie can do here in the last lap and a half of this race. Into P5 goes Freddie on the track, but he's got work to do here in the last lap and a half of this race, as we see.
Had a collision.
Yeah, we did. Mark there at the head of this train with Street Boy and Ruck. Yeah.
A left end plate.
Oh, he must have gone into the back of Mark then.
Looks like it.
Street Boy's now got the DRS here on Mark, but obviously we know he's got a bit of a wounded car here, which could cause him all sorts of havoc as they now come down towards this final corner. He's going to look to the outside now. Here's Street Boy. Is this going to be job done here? I think that Mark's got enough got the car alongside there. He goes a bit late on the brakes. Street Boy there going for the cutback. It's hard to get the cutback around there because you're turning as you're coming out of the corner. If you're going to get a successful cutback, usually you have to have the car dead straight as you're getting out of the corner. Otherwise, you don't really get the traction needed to get a cutback. But nonetheless, Street Boy completes that move up into 7th place. Mark's still on the back of him. him, but he's got Rock for company now as they're all running very tightly here. As now Street Boy slightly out of shape. Mark managing to get that move on the exit of the corner, and Maroc is going to capitalise on that as well around the outside. Great stuff there from him as there's contact between them, and Street Boy runs off onto the runoff area and tee up into ninth place. Says thank you very much indeed. Yeah, Oliver's retired from the race here on the final lap.
Because they smashed into the wall and lost his tyre. Lost his wheel.
Oh, no. As T is running in 8th place. T's going to finish in P7 here because of all the penalties for the drivers around him. So T's going to be happy about that. But nonetheless, we've got to go to the race leader, Davidoff, who's coming through the final few corners. Freddie hasn't pulled enough of a gap to Rexy Boy here, and we'll finish P6, I think, in this one. But nonetheless, it's going to be Davidoff down at the long back straight here for the final time here at this Miami Grand Prix. And what a drive it's been from him. Every time there's been a safety car, every time there's been a hint of something rearing its ugly head, Davidoff has said, no, not today. He stood up to all the pressure. He stood up to all of the difficulties tonight. And he's going to come through the final corner here to take the checkered flag. It's Davidoff to win the Miami Grand Prix here at Purple Sector for round 6 of 24 here for season 12. C4 going to take second place with Glenn over to complete the podium. It's Freddie in 4th. But the penalties are going to absolutely fuck him over here. Yep. Rexy Boy taking 3rd ahead of Glenn, followed by Freddie there in P5. T takes P6 ahead of Matty Pitt, followed by Street Boy with Mark and Rock completing the top 10. So Matty Pitt dropped down to 7th place with that penalty. I know he had a lot, but I didn't realise it was that much. But anyway.
So only one of our predictions came true.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Right, so who was the top? Let's have a look. I can't be bothered to work it out.
I had Davidoff in P1, Freddie P2, Glenn P3, Rock P4, and Matty P5.
Let's see. Wow, Lee McLucky has certainly made a few quid today with putting a tenner on Davidoff. Davidoff on even, so Davidoff has made Lee McLucky an extra tenner there. So he's doubled his money, even money price there on the top of Davidoff. So in the meantime, Ian got Davidoff, so did I. Freddie P2 for me, it didn't come true. Freddie was outside, I was in the top 5, so I get, what do I get? I get 2 points for that. I get 5 points for Davidoff winning. Glenn P3, 1 place out, so that's 3 points. So that's 10 points altogether. Rock P4, yeah, didn't get that one. So 10 points. Matty P5, missed out on that one as well. I got 10 points. Ian got Davidoff for the win, correct. Freddie got 2 points for that. That's 8 points for Ian. Glenn P3. It's another 2 points. That's 10 points. We tied. We both tied. We both got 10 points. Wow. Interesting. Right. Anyway, thanks all for watching, and make sure you join us on next Tuesday for the Pebble Sector Formula 1 League. We'll be back for round 7 of the season for season 12. What a season it's shaping up to be with all this excitement and such close racing as well. So join us at 8 p.m. UK time at the usual time for all of that good stuff. And we'll be live from Imola for that one. Also, we'll be at Monaco for Thursday night next week if you're not around on Tuesday for round 8 of the season. And on the Motive, we'll be back on Monday night for the Red Arrow Racing League as well. Yeah, we'll be live at 8 p.m, just after 8 p.m. UK time for that one. And that'll be round 3 of the season from COTA for the US Grand Prix, which will be very exciting because we're going to have a 3 compound race, which is the first time I've ever seen that. Very excited for that. But thanks all, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Take it easy, and good night.
Good night.